Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early. You know it, man. 3:35 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. What's happening, people? Man, my phone, my notifications. I have my YouTube, my comments and all that stuff set up so I get notifications whenever there's a comment, a like, or whatever. It gets sent to my email. My notifications have been going off every 10 to 20 seconds. I never check my analytics or my videos before I do a video because it sidetracks me, and I'll end up ditching the video I was going to do just to talk about a comment I came across. So I never check the analytics before I do the video. So I have no idea, but somebody is commenting like crazy on something somewhere. So I had to actually hit the do not disturb because at 3:30, 4, the notifications are going off every like 20 seconds. What people are watching or commenting on, I don't know. It's great. God bless you. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for your views, good or bad, whatever. Thank you. All right. Yesterday, I was livid yesterday. I have a Facebook page, of course, and I have over 1,000 friends. A lot of my friends are people I used to party with over 20 years ago. And I swear to God, every single one of them, there's about 10 of them are dead, honestly. At least half of them are deceased. The other half are Republican, conservative Trump supporters. Swear to God. And every so often, I see these posts, and it just makes me livid. I want to talk a little bit about that today. I'm going to talk about Aaron Carter a little bit, too, and relapsing, and methadone maintenance. All right, let me start at the very beginning here. The posts I saw, I see this every so often. These posts have been popping up since when Trump started running back in 2015, 2016. I guarantee you've all seen them, and they just make me so angry. It says, why do drug addicts get treated over and over again or get free methadone? It's worded differently in different places. I'll use one right on my thumbnail, and I'll put one right on my in my community page so you guys will see what I'm talking about. When diabetics don't get insulin for free. And these posts make me livid. Okay, I don't know where to start with this. You guys know methadone maintenance saved my life. All right, I was on it for a couple of years, and this was in 2007, 2006, 2007. And back then, I didn't have a job. You know, I had lost my job. I had spent every penny I had. I had pawned everything, as do most addicts. So I couldn't pay for anything. I couldn't pay for treatment. I had to borrow. My family paid. Back then, I even took out these. I found my old receipts from maintenance from the methadone clinic. This one's from April 7th, 2007. I don't want you to see all the pertinent information, but you can see there I was paying. I'll put this on my community page so you can see. I was paying $63 a week, or I think it was $130 every 2 weeks. This was back in April 8th, 2007. April 8th, 2007. $130 every 2 weeks, $260 a month, and this was over 15 years ago. Okay. Now I've looked it up since, and I didn't realize back in 2019 when Trump was president, this was the Democratic Congress actually passed a law that Medicare and Medicaid does cover methadone now. And I was reading why too, and it's because the baby boomers getting older, a huge portion of them are getting prescribed Oxycontin, oxycodone, and are getting addicted to it. And there's a large portion of people that are retired are now having substance abuse issues. And that's what it took for this stuff to be covered. Back when I started taking this, in 2006, it was not covered. My family had to cover this, but that's not even the issue. The reason I get so angry with these posts, think about if you're one of these people, please, I pray to God there's a conservative Trump supporter that's posted this post before, because I need to talk to you. Let me ask you this first of all. Did you ever take a drink? Did you ever when you first drink alcohol? Did you ever smoke a joint? Did you ever do a line? You know, we'll just say a drink. You took a drink. Now, suppose when you took that drink, it just clicked in your head. And it's that ever since that first drink, it's just like a switch was flipped, and that's all you could think about. Every time you get angry, every time you get happy, every time it's another day, every time it's a holiday, every time it's a Tuesday, you think about that drink. Imagine if that happened to you, because that's a little like what addiction is like. It's a disease. And the worst thing is, I actually feel. I don't feel. I feel bad. I feel conflicted saying that, and I shouldn't. But this is the thing. When you post stuff like this, the drug addict, why does a drug addict get treated over and over again? I'll get to that in a second, relapse. With methadone, when a diabetic doesn't get insulin for free, you are pitting one American with one disease against another American with another disease. That's all you're doing. Two Americans that are suffering from debilitating, deadly diseases, and you're pitting them against each other. How come this guy gets this and this guy doesn't? This guy doesn't deserve this guy deserves to die, but this guy deserves treatment. You're pitting one American with a deadly disease against another American with a deadly disease. Now tell me, who does that help? What does that change? What are you actually trying to accomplish? And is that the way to go about it? It makes me so angry. Okay. Stuff like this, posts like this, is what stopped me from going into methadone treatment. Was the very last thing. I had been in and out of rehabs and detoxes over 13 times, and as soon as I hit that, I would be the one leading the NA groups in the detox, in the rehab. That's how sincere I was. I would be elected to lead the groups. I had every intention in my mind. I had it all planned out, what I was going to do the moment I hit that sidewalk. And I'd be in there for 30 days, 60 days, 10 days, 9 days, 5 days. And as the minute my foot hit that sidewalk, the switch would flip. And within, I swear to God, the longest period it took was maybe 5 hours. From the time I walked out the rehab detox door to the time I had something in my hand was about 5 hours. I wanted to cease existing. Because I was sincere. I wanted to quit, but I couldn't. It was like there was two of me. I was completely sincere. I believed, with all my heart, what I was going to do when I walked out that door. But the minute my foot hit that sidewalk, the minute I got $1 in my hand or $5 in my hand or whatever, a switch just flipped. And it was like, well, I called it lighting the fuse. It's like, well, I could do this. I could go buy milk and bread, but I could conceivably go buy this. And that's what I call lighting the fuse. Once that happens, it was over for me. That's the whole key, is not to get in that position, but I'm getting off track here. Methadone saved my life. It's the only thing that worked. I still remember, this was 16 years ago. And it was about 2 weeks in. I had been taking the methadone every day. And I was still going down and buying every day. Still, even though the methadone was blocking it, I couldn't stop going to the dealer and buying every day, even though it was doing nothing. I was just wasting $35 every day because the methadone blocks the H. But I still kept doing it. That's how crazy this switch, this disease is, this voice. I was doing it for absolutely nothing. I was wasting literally hundreds of dollars every week for nothing. Just because my mind told me to. And then I had this moment, I call it a moment of clarity, where the methadone finally kicked in. And I woke up one morning and I was like, wow, I felt good for the first time ever in my life. I felt like I didn't need anything. I felt motivated. I felt sociable. I felt happy, and I hadn't gone and got the same useless stuff down on the street again. And it was this moment of clarity where all of a sudden it was like, I could do this. I don't need this anymore. Methadone did that for me. Okay, let's just talk about relapse a little bit. Aaron Carter. I've been looking at the news every single day. I wasn't a fan of Aaron Carter. No, I'm not saying I didn't. He seems like a great guy. He seemed like a trouble guy. Seems like a talented guy. And I'm generally interested to see what he was going through. You know, how it all ended. I really would like to know, because I've lost over a dozen friends the same way. And I've talked about this before. Relapse, to me, this is my own opinion here. Relapse is part of recovery. Every addict, including myself, went through this. You get clean, you know, you're clean for weeks, months, and you can still hear that damn little voice in your head, that switch. Well, I could do this. And most of the times you can fight it. But, you know, with me, there came a day when it just, boom, it happened. In those days, you go I've talked about this before. They go one of two ways when you relapse. Either you take the amount you were taking and you overdose because your body can't handle it anymore and you leave this earth, like Aaron Carter. Or you have the worst freaking day of your life. That's what happened to me. And you remember that day forever. And it's crystal clear. It's the big lesson. And I just got goosebumps. You know, and this is relapse, to me, is part of recovery. It's that big final lesson, you know, getting burned by the fire. I'm talking about this because in this post that I'm going to show you guys on my thumbnail, it says drug addicts are treated over and over again. And yeah, and it kills me to see this. You know, you're pitting, I'll just get to the point here. You're pitting one American with a disease against another American with a disease, and it's not accomplishing anything. You know, I'll put the links down below. Medicare and Medicaid now do cover methadone. I think it was in 2019 under Trump, with the Democrat Congress passed a law because of addicted baby boomers that it's now covered. I started to look up insulin, but I'm not diabetic and I don't like speaking for other people. Some of it's covered, some of it isn't. But that's not the point. If you want to change something, change who you elect. Change your government. But don't pit one American with a disease against another American with another disease. Or say that one person is more deserving of treatment than another. That's not doing anybody any good. It's actually hurting people. And these are the same people that are all up in arms about the stuff coming across the border. You know, but yet at the same time, they're complaining about addicts getting treatment. You can't have it both ways, people. All right, I see I've run long. I could talk about this for hours. You guys, have a good Thursday.